Big developments tonight on abortion rights in Florida. The Florida Supreme Court paved the way today for a new 6-week ban on the procedure to take effect. The state currently has a 15-week abortion ban in place, and until now, Florida had been viewed as a southern safe haven for abortions with less restrictive rules than neighboring states. The Florida Supreme Court also ruled today that abortion rights will be on the ballot in November, giving voters the final say. Tonight, crews are working around the clock to remove the remains of the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore in a desperate race to reopen one of the busiest ports in the country. The Army Corps of Engineers calls it the single most important project it's working on. CBS's Nicole Sganga reports President Biden will visit the scene and meet with first responders on Friday.
Buoys in the water and a lifeline in the waterway.
Definitely debris in the water. That's a big concern.
The U.S. Coast Guard now marking clear sections of the channel and today opening up an alternate passageway for smaller ships. Nearby, sparks fly as crews surgically cut the steel remains of the Key Bridge. Tonight, they're poised to remove a 350-ton piece, but problems remain.
What we're finding is it is more complicated than we had hoped for initially. These girders are essentially tangled together, intertwined, making it very difficult to figure out where you need to eventually cut.
It is a mangled, cantilevered mess.
Colonel S.D. Pinchason, unified commander of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, says crews will scan the underwater superstructure of concrete and twisted metal after each cut. The bodies of 2 construction workers have been recovered, but 4 other victims are unaccounted for and presumed dead. As officials brace the dolly ahead of a potential storm system, U.S. Coast Guard Captain David O'Connell.
So we've taken some precautions, put out 4 anchors on the stern of the vessel to make sure that it's not going to move in a storm.
The whole bridge just collapsed.
Meanwhile, we're learning more about the very first officers to arrive by water to the scene of the crash.
Absolutely.
The head of the Maryland Transportation Authority Police Union tells us officers with the Marine unit raced to the port.
They actually were the first responder vessel to arrive on scene. And they actually rescued the one survivor from the water who was clinging to debris floating in the water.
That alternate channel, now open for business, will accommodate vessels that can operate in shallow waters. Now, that includes some commercial barges, but it also includes boats needed to usher more equipment around the site of the wreckage. Norah?
Nicole Sganga, thank you so much.